And tell stories. So as scientists, a lot of the time we get really used to just using statistics and facts, and 57% of people believe that and 35% of people did the other. And that can be quite useful to make a point. But the human brain responds very well to narrative and to stories. So for example, this is a story that we like to tell people about some kind of lateral thinking in conservation, and how important it is to share evidence from the conservation projects you're doing. So there were some people trying to save the echo parakeet. I can't remember where, but I think it's somewhere in
Mauritius.
West. There we go, thank you. I was like, where does it live? Somewhere warm was where I got to. And they had a problem of snails going into the holes, in the nest holes in the trees, and they covered the chicks up in slime, and then the chicks died. And this didn't really seem like a very good thing. So a bunch of conservationists came up with this idea of putting copper bands around the trees to try and stop the snails from going into the nest holes. And when they put the copper bands around, they saw that the snails stopped, they wouldn't go past the copper, and it saved the chicks. And they published this story in Conservation Evidence. Pretty much straight after it was published, a group of British conservationists who were trying to save the red helleborine orchid read this study, and they were having a lot of problems with snails eating their orchids. And they read this study and they thought, oh, well, if copper stops snails from going into nest holes in Mauritius, they can just as well stop snails from eating red helleborines in Britain. So they made these cages and they put copper bands around them for the red helleborine and the plants. These are critically endangered species of plant. And lo and behold, the plants that had these copper bands around them didn't get eaten by snails. So we could talk about something about like the percentage of studies that have been or the number of studies we've published every year, or the number of people that visit our website, and we do that as well. But people remember stories much, much better.